Hey guys, it's Kororo. I wanna do a video of how to run Junon on your PC, and this guide is gonna be for Windows 10. In here in the wiki, I just sort of like write down sort of the steps I'm gonna go through, and hopefully by the end of this video, you can run Junon on your computer without any problems. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is install something called the bash terminal. This is kind of like this is like an important step wherein it allows you to like run Linux commands on your computer. Think of it as like doing Minecraft commands, but for your PC, and you can do a lot of things there. And a lot of the work we're gonna do in this tutorial is gonna be done through this bash terminal. So you can just go there and download the software. In my computer, it's already installed, and this is what it looks like. Alright. And once it's installed, the first thing you want to do is to actually run it. Run as administrator. And once it's running, you want to make sure that you install Git as well. Git is a version manager that will allow us to version control our code for Junon, so that we can like go back to previous changes that we've made in the past and revert to that history. And this is like very important. We need to have this running, and to check that it's running, you can just type git that version, and we know that Git is installed in our computer. But if you don't have it installed, you're gonna have to go to this website and click the installer for your computer. Once you have Git in the bash terminal, you want to install Node.js. In my computer, I think I have an older version of Node.js. It's 11.15.0. And optionally, you can use a NVM to install multiple versions of Node in your computer. It's not necessary, but I just find it like a lot better. But if you don't have any Node installed and you just want to install one, you can just directly go to like Node.js download and install it for Windows. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna use something called NVM, which is Node Version Manager. Right now we have two versions, and I'm gonna install the 16.15.0. This is gonna take a couple minutes for it to run, and oh shit, it's done. I think it's because I already installed it before and I uninstalled it, and now it's like installation is faster. But that's how it works. And if I want to switch to like 16.15.0, I just do that, and now we just verify yes, that's correct version. And once we have all these, we can go ahead and download the Junon Codebase into our computer, and we're using Git to do that. You do so in this link, you can grab it from GitHub website. You click code and copy this URL and go back to the console and type git clone that URL, and it's gonna download it to your computer. So there's that. My internet is pretty fast. That's good. So we just CD is basically just going into that folder. It's the same as double clicking. Oh. Anyway, I think Explorer. Yeah, there you go. So if you double click, that's in order to do that in the terminal, you just do cd, right? So if I do cd packages, oops, it will list the folders inside it. So these commands we're gonna use to mostly set up our code. Alright, so we have downloaded our code base, and at this point you want to make sure that you have the npm, you want to install the libraries that are needed by Junon, because Junon is a code base, but it depends on other libraries as well. And in order to do that, you just follow the steps in the readme. So I copy paste this command, npm install. I just need to go back to the root folder, npm install. This is going to take another couple minutes. While we're doing that, we're going to open a console to the right, split, and we're just going to show you the database setup. MySQL, right? What is MySQL? MySQL is an open source database, and Junon uses it to store the users, for example, and the worlds that they create, and other things like what worlds you favorited, etc. You would need to download MySQL for Windows. Okay. And I think, let's see, MySQL, gosh. Try free. Oh no, that's not what we want. MySQL download Windows free. Just type that in Google. Oh, there you go. MySQL installer. So I would just go ahead and install the installer, this one. You want to grab the bigger size one. Click download that and run the installer. In my case, it's already in my computer, so I don't have to do it. Like if I type MySQL, oops, it's stuck. MySQL version. You can see that it's already installed, so I don't have to do that step. But if it's not installed yet, you have to like put it in your computer. And then you can connect to the database from this terminal by doing mysql.e-u.root. That -u is the user, which is root, and -p is the password. And my password for my computer for MySQL is just pass, so I type PASS, and I'll be able to go in, and from here I'm now connected to the database. I can see what databases I have. Alright, these are the database that's there. And then we can optionally do a SQL, MySQL, GUI, Windows. We can download the Windows for oh wait. Oh shit. What's going on? Alright. We can download the GUI for SQL so that it's easier to work with. Free, open source. Okay. Beekeeper Studio. We're just gonna go ahead and try this. Download for Windows. installer. I've never tried this software, but I'm just gonna go ahead and install it and see if it's like useful or not. Since we're still waiting for our code base to install the libraries, it's taking quite a while because it's kind of big. But here we go, it's installing. And here we go. Alright, so connection type MySQL. I want to connect to localhost, root pass, and password is PASS. Oh shit, its free trial expires in 2 weeks. I thought it's free. Reddit, wow. MySQL Workbench. Maybe this works. Best Windows. Ugh. Table plus. How about this? I used Table Plus for Mac. Okay, maybe we can use this instead. Download for Windows. Alright. Wait, maybe I already have Table Plus. No, I don't. I downloaded the installer before, but I never run it. Beekeeper Studio Ultimate. Beekeeper. Free? Is it free? I think I'm supposed to download. I might have downloaded the wrong version of Beekeeper. Because I don't know why it popped up earlier. It's saying that free trial ends in 2 weeks. But I like Table Plus in Mac, so I'm gonna try this in Windows as well. Install. Here, select use world, show tables, select from city. Oh my god. So if you're interacting with the database from this command line, you're gonna have to do a lot of manual things. But if you do it from a GUI, you don't have to type all that. It's gonna be a lot user friendly. And I'll show you in a bit. Table plus. Yeah, here we go. No connection. Let's create a new connection for MySQL. localhost 3306 name. Just localhost test. All right, we have to specify our, come on, okay. It's going so slow. Okay, the user's root password. This should work now. Okay, connect. So now I can interact with the database like this, right? I can see all the list by just clicking on items. It's a lot easier to interact with it. So going back here, we've npm install, it worked. Now everything is downloaded in Node modules. There's going to be a bunch of files there. These are the libraries. The next step is to actually set up the database, because right now we don't have a Junon database, and we need to create that from here. I'm just going to close all these tabs, right, and go back to our README. What does README say? README say to set up the database, we need to run this. We don't have an empty password, so it's gonna fail, but I'm just gonna show you the error message, just so you guys know. And we're gonna show you what to do after. This running great, slow in environment, and it's gonna say error, failed with error, access denied. It just means that we need to supply a password, and in order to do that, we have to we can use Notepad, for example. Notepad, we put it in a file called bash profile, and basically define the database password and user in these variables. So I do export JunonDB user is equals to root, export equals pass. You just type in the password for your database. But oh wait, this spelled incorrectly. And just like that. If you don't have a password for a database, it will just work. You don't have to do these. So another solution is to change your database in your computer to just have no password. As long as there's no sensitive content in there, right? But if you wanna, be secure and all that, it's good practice to have a password in there. So we've saved this file, and now those variables are not gonna be in there yet. So what we need to do is restart the terminal. I just type exit and restart it to the right. Junon, and if I try to inspect the variable using the command echo, it will show the values for that variable. Alright, so now we have that. We can just run that command again earlier to set up our database. And here we go. It's creating the tables: user table, sector table, sessions, favorites, etc. And I think that's the last step that we need to do. I'm just gonna go ahead and quit. Oh god. Let's quit this MySQL, go to Junon. Alright. So the tables are created, and we can verify that by going back to our table plus. So we're back in table plus. I'm just gonna expand this, and I'm gonna click this, show a database list, and now we can see that there's a database called Junon development. We double click that, and we can see that the tables are created. Oh my god, no. Just what? This is annoying. They changed the way it works. It used to be... Wow. Okay, I don't like Table Plus anymore. Maybe there's a better software. But before, if you click on a table, it's just gonna create one tab instead of creating a new tab each time. But we're gonna come back here to this database once we created a world. The thing that we want to do now is to run the code base. So let's go back here. It says to run, we need to run the client and the server. So I do npm run client. We go back here. We run a client, and then we run the server. On the other tab, we type npm run server. Okay. It's currently loading, and we're just waiting for this client to finish. And I think, yep, there you go. So once you see this message, you know that the server is now running in this URL. The web page is available there. We can just copy that. Oops. So we go to localhost 8001, and here we are. Junon is running now on our computer. We click on tutorial. We can go to the tutorial, and we can exit, right? How do you exit? Exit game. And we can click play, which will create a world, I think. But something's not working. Oh my god. It's not working. Oh wait, because I clicked play. Alright, so the reason why this is not working is because the database is missing some files. Play, it tries to load the domination world, and we don't have domination on our computer yet. So we're just gonna like do it again, and instead of clicking play, we just click, oh my god. It crashed. Okay, fine. Instead of clicking play, we click new colony. Right. So creating a new colony works. The play button on the homepage, I might have to fix that later on. So it's more user friendly for people who want to make changes to the code base. And that's it. If we go to the database, we can see that a world is created under sectors. Ace Alive 1, Peaceful, and the creator ID is null because I did not log in. I'm an anonymous user. And no users are created yet, but once I quit, right? Once I quit, I believe that's gonna remove the sector from the database. So if I go back to the database again, and I click sectors, it's still there, but this is old data. In order to see the new data, you click refresh workspace, or Control R, and that's going to show that there's zero records in the table. So that's the end of the tutorial. And I want to just add a quick last note about the code base. Make sure you're downloading from this. I made changes to this code base like a couple days ago, or maybe just a couple of hours ago. So make sure if you cloned the code base before, it might be the old version. You want to make sure you're updated to the latest version. Otherwise, things would not work properly. As you can see here in my commit history, how did I do that? If I click commits, these are the versions of the code and the changes I made. One change I made is to change the software, Node.js. I made some custom changes to it so that it runs well with Windows. Otherwise, you're gonna have problems installing Junon. And yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I'll do more tutorials on how to make pull requests so that your changes can be merged into Junon.